Hey guys, I recently shot this video with Ed from La Perfection. Did you watch it? No, you don't know which video I'm talking about? Okay, here it is. So what do you think separates people who can't learn a foreign language
from those who speak 5, 10 or even 20?
Well, we didn't really know, so we travelled to the Polyglot gathering in Bratislava, Slovakia to meet some of the world's most cunning linguists to find out just what their secret is. And here's what we learned.
Now, if you want to watch the full video, I'll put a link in the description below. But, let's talk a little bit about the question that we were answering in the video. And that's basically, how do polyglots learn multiple languages? And we have talked about this topic many times here on this channel. But I think this video was a pretty good summarization of, of also what we have mentioned several times here on Language Boost. Because is there a secret method? Is there like one single method that works? Is there a polyglot secret? Now, if you watch the video, you see that the conclusion is actually that most polyglots only have one thing in common, and it's not talent, but it's all of us are really motivated. And we have tried different methods, because there is not one universal method that works for everyone. I used to be really bad at learning foreign languages at school. I know many other polyglots, also YouTubers who talk about language learning. He used to be very, very bad at learning languages at school, but now they have become, a multilingual person, a polyglot, if you want that I use that word. So, what's the difference of someone who speaks many languages and someone who can't? Well, first of all, of course, it's motivation, I was bad at languages at school, but I have always been very motivated to learn foreign languages, to travel and to learn more about the world, different cultures. So, I was bad at school, but later on, I went to Costa Rica. I was like, okay, learning a language at school doesn't work for me. Why not going to like a small language school in the country? Maybe I just need to be in the country. Maybe that's going to solve all my problems. And I was there. Of course, I had the motivation. I was in Costa Rica. Spanish was the only language which was gonna allow me to talk to the people there. But yeah, it didn't work for me. I was in a small language school. The teacher was from there, Spanish speaking. I was in the Spanish speaking environment, but yeah, it didn't work for me. So I couldn't learn the language at school. Even when I was in the country, it didn't work. But I still had this desire to learn a foreign language. So eventually I ended up in China, where again I went on exchange and learned Chinese at a language school there. And I was not one of the best students. I was not really studying for the exams, but I was passing my tests. But the real thing only happened after the lesson was finished, because I would go out and I was in Asia, completely different world, and I would try out the words that I used. That I learned during my lessons with the people outside, and that was great, because in China people do not expect a white person like me to speak Chinese, right? So that was really rewarding, and it was also fun. And this was something that I had never tried before. When I was learning English, for example, at school in the Netherlands, I was not using English after my lessons. Because I didn't really need it. And the same for Spanish in Costa Rica. I wanted, of course, I could have used Spanish because I was in a country, but I was afraid, because they see me and, a white person. And of course, I didn't really look Costa Rican, but expectations are high in a country like China, or Thailand, or like these Asian countries. People do not expect you to speak the language. So that was... that changed everything for me. This was basically the turning point in my language learning. So I learned lots of words during the lesson, but after the lesson was over, I was trying to make sentences with everything I had learned. And this was really the key for me to become successful as learning my first foreign language. Well, Chinese was not my first foreign language, but I consider it as the first foreign language that I learned successfully, right? Because after a few months, I was able to communicate in Chinese, and that with a difficult language like Chinese. So that was really something that worked for me. Now, my question is, what works for you? Have you already found a method that works for you? We all learn differently. Some of my friends, for example, at high school, were really good at English and could actually already speak it after graduation. I couldn't, so they've used a method that works for them. Everyone learns differently. And, as you can also see in that video that I shot with Ed, like some of the people that we interviewed, some of the polyglots were already very good at speaking foreign languages at school. Some of them are not. Some of them might have some talent, some of them not. But in general, what all of them have in common is that they are all extremely motivated. Without this motivation, you are not, because you're gonna fail in language learning. I failed many times. And if you're not motivated, you're just going to quit. But if you have the motivation, you keep trying different methods, different approaches, different people to talk to practice with. And then eventually you will succeed. And I really do think that that's the key to successfully learn a foreign language, or maybe even become someone who speaks many languages. So here at Language Boost, we do not say that we have the best method to learn a foreign language. But if you are watching these videos, you see how we learn foreign languages, and you think, hey, looks interesting, then I would say, give it a try. If you think, okay, what these guys are doing, this really doesn't work for me, okay, then learn the way that works for you. We are all different, and some approaches work for some people and others don't. So that's just the message of my video today. Now, if you want to watch the full video, because Ed put a really nice video together, then click the description below. I already basically spoiled the conclusion. I already gave you the answer to the question, how can people learn multiple languages? How can polyglots speak so many languages? And the reason is they're extremely motivated and they have tried lots of different methods. And they keep going. If one method doesn't work for them, they try something else. And if something works, they keep using that method, that learning style. And then, if you're really that motivated, then eventually you're going to put in the time. And if you spend, 10, 20 years studying foreign languages, and practicing them, of course, then eventually you're going to end up speaking many languages. If you watch football or soccer for our American friends every single day, and you read the magazines, and then eventually you're gonna know a lot about football. You will be able to name all the names of the teams, of the players. And it's the same thing with language learning. It really depends on your motivation. That's basically it for today, guys. I hope that was enough. So find out what works for you, and keep doing that in order to become successful at learning a foreign language. Don't give up. If you fail, just try something else. That's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Wish you a very, very nice day or evening or morning, depending where you are. Ciao, ciao.